So far, we've explored how to create prompts in ChatGPT. We've talked a bit about the effective prompt writing structure and the importance of that to our general AI literacy. And then we also took a look at some examples of effective and ineffective prompts. There are two other features I want to highlight when it comes to our base understanding of communicating with ChatGPT. And that is a file size and attaching files, and also customizing ChatGPT. To begin, one thing that I want to talk about, another limitation when it comes to ChatGPT free versus some of the paid versions, is when it comes to attaching files. So by default, we are allowed to attach files, photos, and images into ChatGPT. But as you can see here, that is when we're using the 4 Omni model. Because we've already reached our limit on 4.0, we have now moved down a model to 4 Mini, and that one does not support attachments. So if you ever encounter this issue here, I just want to show that for troubleshooting purposes. You may encounter an issue where you're typing along, you're using ChatGPT, you've reached your limit, and you notice that you can't attach files. Well, that's because the model that it switched to is 4.0 Mini, and that one does not support attachments. So it's just important to notice that there. Now I want to direct your attention to customizing ChatGPT. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to navigate on over to the top right-hand side of my screen here. Go ahead and give this a click, and then I'm going to select Customize ChatGPT. We've talked a lot about model training and making sure that we're teaching our AI how to respond to us. The Customize ChatGPT feature pretty much allows us to directly tell ChatGPT what we want. This is a bit of an advanced tool, so for my beginners, feel free to experiment with this, but if you find that this might be a bit too much, no worries, but I do want to highlight at least a basic overview of how to use this. So with the Customize ChatGPT feature, we're going to tell ChatGPT a couple of key things about us. We're going to introduce ourselves, and we're going to give it some information so that it can better understand how to address us. So say, for example, what should ChatGPT call me? I want to be referred to as Ethan here. And what do you do? Well, I am the CEO of Aromar. So now, every time ChatGPT, I put in a prompt, it'll know to refer to me as Ethan, and it'll also know my job title. So certain ways that it responds based on prompting, it'll keep in mind my role in that response there. This is really cool. You can give ChatGPT specific traits that will help dictate how it responds. So take a look here. We can say we want it to be chatty, we want it to be witty, we want it to be forward-thinking, poetic, encouraging, Gen Z, straight shooting, and there's so many different options here. So for me, I want to make sure that ChatGPT is professional. I want it to be direct. And you can see how it influences the prompt up top. Use a formal professional tone, get right to the point. So you can see the customized ChatGPT feature is still utilizing the components of effective prompt writing. Except what I'm doing is I'm doing all that work early on, so that way I can sort of just focus on making my prompts a little bit shorter. I don't necessarily always need to include tone now because I'm essentially telling it the tone all the time here. Now there's some exceptions. Maybe I wanted to switch it up a bit. But for general, this is a nice, great way to start because it's going to influence our initial work right from the get-go. Get right to the point. I'll leave it with those two there. And then if there's anything else ChatGPT should know about you. There's also some advanced features here that we won't focus too much on since it's a beginner level course, but just want to highlight that. And then we can decide whether or not we want to enable or disable this for new chats. So what you can do is you can always set up this customized ChatGPT feature. And if you're not ready to use this feature yet, you can always turn it off. All that information will still be there, but you don't have to utilize it. But if you're ready to utilize it, you can turn this on and hit save. And now let's take a look at what that customized feature looks like in action. So I'm going to ask it a question. Can you tell me, actually I like this question here. Can you tell me about the latest trends in technology? And you can see here, I told it to be direct, I told it to be informative, and to get straight to the point, right? And maintain a professional tone. So you can see the language here is very direct, it's very straight to the point, it's very professional. Let's take a look at what that looks like if we change the customized ChatGPT feature. So take a little snapshot in your mind of how this response looks like. Now let's go back to customized ChatGPT, and let's change these traits here. So I'm going to go ahead and delete these here. I want it this time to be the opposite. I want it to be chatty. I want it to be witty. And I'm also going to type in a couple more things. Let's think about Let's make it very chill. Let's do the complete opposite of what we just had. Now we're going to save. And this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a brand new chat. So I'm going to go back to my new chat icon here, give it a click, and I'm going to put in the same prompt. Can you tell me about the latest trends in technology? And let's take a look at how it answers it this time. And it's very a little cringy, one might say, in this response, but we did tell it to keep it witty, keep it fun, keep it light, keep it chill, man. And so that's the response that we're getting. Right? And you can see just from that first line alone, you can tell the difference. Let's go back to our previous prompt when we told it to be direct and professional. So we're going to go back to our sidebar, click on our last prompt here, and let's take a look at that first sentence. So when we told it to be professional and direct and straight to the point, here's what it told us. As of April 2025, several technological advancements are significantly influencing various sectors. Now let's compare that to our witty version of ChatGPT here. Oh, you're itching to know what's hot in the tech world? We'll strap in because the digital landscape is buzzing with some pretty exciting trends. So instantly right from there, you can see the difference when it comes to using those traits features into ChatGPT. So take some time to utilize the customized ChatGPT feature. You can see that it'll has a tremendous impact on your responses and how ChatGPT interacts with you. And by doing this, you're helping ChatGPT get to know you better, and it'll also know how to personalize its responses going forward. So this is a great feature that I want to highlight. Have some fun with it. Play around with these different features and see all the ways that ChatGPT will tailor its response based on these customized options.